Most people walk into rooms hoping to be liked. They shapeshift, overshare, exaggerate anything to feel accepted. Society rewards noise, not depth. It celebrates those who react quickly, loudly, and publicly. In this landscape, manipulation becomes a sport. But every game has a final boss, and he isn't loud. He's unreadable. The Sigma doesn't bend to social rituals. He doesn't care about fitting in, performing, or being understood. While others wield emotion like a weapon, the Sigma disarms them with stillness. And nothing terrifies people more than someone who can't be predicted or controlled. You see, manipulation only works when the target needs something: validation, acceptance, attention. But what happens when the man across from you wants nothing you can offer? They panic. They push harder. They escalate. They turn collective. But it always ends the same: they break themselves trying to break him. Let's break down 10 truths that explain why Sigma males are the final boss in everyone's emotional game. 1. He doesn't fight fire. He turns off the oxygen. You don't win by reacting. You win by refusing to fuel what burns for attention. While others get dragged into emotional warfare, the Sigma doesn't even step onto the battlefield. He doesn't throw punches or raise his voice. He removes the very fuel drama feeds on: his attention. It's not about being passive. It's about knowing that some fires burn out faster when starved of oxygen. He doesn't feed the fire. He deprives it of air. His silence is not avoidance, it's precision. It's the slow, suffocating pressure that causes theatrics to collapse under their own weight. The more they scream, the less they get. The louder the manipulation, the deeper his calm becomes. Because that stillness isn't just a lack of reaction, it's a reflection. In that silence, they begin to hear everything they were trying to avoid: their own insecurities, their own neediness, their fear of being irrelevant without control. The Sigma doesn't ignore them to be cruel. He stays silent because he knows the truth echoes louder in a quiet room. 2. He kills insecurity by being unbothered. You don't need to silence critics when they realize you're not listening. Insecurity screams for control. It needs validation, it thrives on visibility, and it feeds off emotional imbalance. Most people respond to that by either submitting or retaliating, both of which hand power to the insecure. But the Sigma? He simply refuses to participate. He doesn't flinch at insults or glow under praise. And in doing so, he collapses the entire structure of emotional manipulation in a single move by staying silent, unreadable, and unaffected. This detachment isn't coldness, it's lethal clarity. It's the art of refusing to let someone else dictate the pace of your heartbeat. The insecure try harder, push deeper, provoke louder, but when they realize they can't rattle him, they start to fracture. And that's when the mirror turns. Because when you can't shake someone who doesn't even blink, you're left with your own noise. The breakdown doesn't happen in him, it detonates in you. That's not indifference, that's dominance without a word. 3. He outranks the game by refusing to play it. You can't be a pawn when you refuse the board. Manipulators craft traps, emotional debts, power imbalances. They thrive on the tension between obligation and guilt strings designed to tie people down, to keep them playing a rigged game where the rules always shift in favor of the manipulator. But the Sigma walks past all of it, not because he's simply clever, but because he sees the entire mechanism for what it is: a desperate attempt to create control where none exists. He doesn't play the emotional currency game because he refuses to invest in bonds that only pay in chaos. People try to bait him with guilt, dangle loyalty like a chain, or sell fear disguised as safety. But he doesn't bite. He doesn't barter peace for false belonging. While everyone else is scrambling for leverage trading secrets, favors, and illusions, the Sigma's walking free. Why? Because he never signed the contract to begin with. That's not rebellion, that's strategy. It's how he stays untouchable in a world addicted to emotional blackmail. 4. He weaponizes boundaries like armor. His no isn't negotiation, it's a full stop. Most people apologize for setting limits. Sigmas make them immovable. And when manipulative people meet a wall, they can't charm or guilt their way through, they turn hostile. But it doesn't matter, the Sigma doesn't flinch. He doesn't debate, he enforces. And when someone realizes they can't control you, they'll either respect you or try to destroy you. Either way, the Sigma is already 5 moves ahead. 5. He destroys the spotlight by making it meaningless. Take their applause away and see who still matters. Manipulators thrive in environments where image trumps substance. They're addicted to appearances, followers, and orchestrated praise. It's a circus and they need the audience more than the act. But the Sigma? He's allergic to the stage. He walks better in the shadows, where there are no roles, no scripts, just the raw truth of who people are when no one's clapping. He doesn't chase credit, and that makes him terrifying. Because when a man moves without needing recognition, his influence becomes untouchable independent of popularity, unreachable by gossip, immune to cancellation. And when the Sigma leaves the spotlight, he doesn't just leave applause behind, he drags the whole illusion down with him. The power manipulators believe they had it vanishes, because their control was never based on truth. It was based on being watched. But the Sigma doesn't need to be seen to be felt. And that's why when he disappears, the room loses more than just a presence. It loses a mirror it never deserved. 6. He isn't a threat until you cross him. Quiet doesn't mean harmless, it means calculating. The Sigma doesn't advertise his strength. He doesn't posture or intimidate. He just observes meticulously. And most people mistake that stillness for softness until they cross him. And then they realize this man was never passive. He was patient. Because while others explode in the moment, the Sigma stores data. He's not collecting grudges, he's collecting patterns. And when the line is crossed, he won't erupt. He'll vanish with surgical precision. You won't hear a door slam. You won't get a warning. One day he's just gone, and so is every ounce of value he brought into your world. 7. He lets you expose yourself. The more you talk, the more he learns. Most people argue to be right. The Sigma listens to be free. He knows that in every rant, every accusation, every manipulation, there's a confession. People expose their tactics when they think they're in control, and the Sigma gives them that illusion. He lets them speak. He watches. He catalogs every projection, every tactic, every weak point. And when he finally moves, it's with total clarity. 8. He doesn't seek closure. He closes the door. Some people want a final word. He just wants a clean exit. Manipulators love dragging things out. They bait conversations, dangle apologies, and stall healing with ambiguity. Why? Because as long as there's confusion, there's control. But the Sigma isn't interested in closure. He's interested in peace. So he doesn't wait for apologies. He doesn't send explanations. He doesn't announce his next step. He just moves, and the silence that follows is louder than any speech. 9. He doesn't react. He reinvents. You thought you broke him. He was just rebuilding. Most people try to destroy the Sigma thinking they'll see him crumble. What they don't understand is that he doesn't resist the fall, he uses it. While they watch for signs of weakness, he's sharpening his armor, reinforcing his mission, turning the betrayal into blueprint. By the time they realize he's not broken, he's transformed, it's too late. He's already out of reach. 10. He becomes the one they can't replace. They laughed when he arrived. They went silent when he left. At first, the Sigma's lack of conformity makes him a target. They mock his silence, dismiss his solitude, misread his depth. But over time, the truth surfaces. The room feels different without him. Lighter, but also emptier. The fake gets louder. The energy shifts. And suddenly, the man they couldn't figure out becomes the one they can't stop thinking about. You don't realize what the Sigma meant until he's no longer there to anchor the chaos. On a final note, the Sigma isn't bulletproof because he's emotionless. He's untouchable because he's intentional. He sees the game but refuses to play it. He hears the noise but never amplifies it. He feels the pressure but never bends to it. In a world trying to provoke a reaction, the Sigma is the only man calm enough to hold the mirror. And that reflection, that's what breaks them. Because it's not what he says that wounds them, it's what they see in his silence. He's not the loudest, but he's always the last one standing.